Nobody hands you a certificate the day your financial life starts working. There's no notification, no announcement, no moment where the world pauses and confirms that something fundamental has shifted in your relationship with money. It happens quietly, in habits you almost don't notice, in decisions that feel small in the moment but are actually seismic in their long-term consequence. And most people miss the signals entirely because they're looking for the dramatic version of wealth. The car, the house, the number in the account that finally feels like enough. But wealth doesn't announce itself. It accumulates in silence. And if you know what to look for, the signals are already there. Subtle, unglamorous, and completely invisible to everyone around you. If you're serious about building wealth and breaking free from money problems, hit that subscribe button. We've got powerful content lined up to fuel your journey. Here are 10 quiet signals you're becoming rich. Signal 10, anxiety stops running your spending decisions. Most people make financial decisions from a place of emotional pressure. They buy things to feel better. They spend to celebrate. They consume to cope. The purchase arrives before the logic does. There's a specific shift that happens when your financial life starts working. Spending decisions stop being emotional and start being intentional. Not because you've suppressed the impulse, but because you've built enough of a buffer that the panic is gone. When you no longer buy things to self-soothe the financial anxiety that never quite goes away, that's a signal. When your relationship with money moves from reactive to deliberate, something structural has changed underneath. Emotional spending is almost always a symptom of financial fragility. When the fragility starts to dissolve, the spending patterns follow. You'll notice it first in the small decisions, and then it rewires everything. Signal 9, you've stopped competing with people who are losing. There's a specific kind of competition that keeps people broke for decades. It doesn't look like competition. It looks like keeping up. Keeping up with the car your colleague just bought, the holiday your friend posted, the renovation your neighbor announced at dinner. Social proof dressed as aspiration, pulling your money toward things that produce nothing and depreciate immediately. The shift happens when you quietly stop caring, not from resignation, from clarity. You understand that the person who looks wealthy and the person who is wealthy are playing entirely different games. And the one playing for appearance is hemorrhaging the capital that the other is compounding in silence. When the neighbor's new car stops triggering anything in you, no envy, no pressure, no quiet urgency to respond in kind, that's a signal. You've exited the race most people don't even realize they're running. Signal 8, boredom starts working in your favor. Here's a pattern almost nobody talks about. Wealthy people are often extraordinarily boring with money. Same index fund, same automatic transfer, same allocation. Month after month, year after year, with almost no variation. And that boredom is exactly the point. Most people confuse financial activity with financial progress. They move money around, switch funds, react to headlines, reconsider their strategy every quarter. The activity feels like control. It is actually the primary way retail investors destroy their own returns. When you stop needing your portfolio to be exciting, when you can sit with the same boring system for years without touching it, that's a signal. The discipline of doing nothing when nothing should be done is one of the rarest and most valuable financial skills in existence. Boring, automatic, and untouched. That's what compounding looks like from the inside. Signal 7, you start measuring time differently. Before the shift, most people measure financial decisions in months. Can I afford this month's payment? What does next month look like? After the shift, the unit of measurement changes entirely. You start thinking about decisions in terms of decades. You run calculations not on what something costs today, but on what that capital could become in 20 years if it were deployed differently. The mental math happens almost automatically. The opportunity cost of a purchase becomes as real to you as the sticker price. When a 5-year-old version of a decision becomes more real to you than the immediate version, when your instinct is to zoom out rather than zoom in, that's a signal. Long horizon thinking is not a personality trait. It's a skill built through repetition. And it is one of the clearest indicators that your financial architecture has fundamentally changed. Signal 6, your income has at least one source that doesn't require your presence. This one is concrete, binary, either it exists or it doesn't. a dividend payment that arrives while you sleep, a rental deposit that hits on the first of the month regardless of what you're doing that day, a digital product that sells without requiring your active involvement, an investment that compounds without needing your attention. The moment you have even one income source that runs without you, however small, you have broken the fundamental trap that keeps most people in permanent financial vulnerability. The trap being, if you stop working, the income stops too. It doesn't need to be significant yet. It needs to exist, because the first stream outside your active income teaches you the mechanism. And once you understand the mechanism, the second stream comes faster, the third faster still. One stream that doesn't need you is a signal. Multiple streams that don't need you is a different financial life entirely. Signal 5, you've become genuinely unimpressed by expensive things. This one is counterintuitive because most people assume that getting richer means wanting more expensive things. The opposite tends to happen. When you understand what money actually is, not a status symbol, but a tool that compounds into options and freedom, your relationship with expensive things quietly shifts. You stop being seduced by the price tag. You start evaluating everything on a return basis. What does this produce? What does this cost me in compounding opportunity? A high price watch doesn't disappear from your awareness. You simply stop feeling pulled by it. You know exactly what that capital does inside the machine versus on a wrist. And the machine wins without much internal debate. When luxury stops triggering desire and starts triggering calculation, that's a signal, not cynicism, clarity. Signal 4. Problems. You used to panic over become decisions you just make. Financial fragility makes everything an emergency. The car needs repair and the month is in crisis. An unexpected medical bill becomes a spiral. A slow month at work becomes a threat to the entire structure. When your financial foundation starts working, emergencies don't disappear. They get reclassified. The same event that would have triggered a week of anxiety 2 years ago becomes a decision you make on a Tuesday afternoon without much drama. You have the buffer. You have the system. You have the runway. This psychological shift is not often included in conversations about wealth because it doesn't look like wealth from the outside. But internally, it is one of the most profound changes you'll experience. When money problems become money decisions, when the panic is replaced by process, the foundation is solid enough to build on. Signal 3. The people closest to you start asking questions. You haven't announced anything. You haven't changed how you dress or where you live. You've been quiet about all of it. But the people around you can feel something has shifted. They start asking questions. What are you investing in? How does that work? What should I do with my savings? The questions come without you inviting them, and they come because behavior's visible even when finances aren't. The discipline shows. The way you talk about money changes. The decisions you make out loud, what you decline, what you prioritize, how you respond to financial pressure, all of it signals something that words don't need to confirm. When your circle starts treating you as a quiet reference point for financial decisions, that's a signal. Not because you've positioned yourself as one, because the consistency of your behavior has done it for you over time. Signal 2, you've made peace with delayed gratification. This one doesn't feel like a financial signal. It feels like a personality shift. At some point in the process, the sacrifice stops feeling like sacrifice. Investing instead of spending doesn't register as deprivation anymore. Holding the position instead of cashing out doesn't require willpower to sustain. The long game becomes genuinely more appealing than the short one. Not because you've trained yourself to suppress the short-term pull, but because you've seen the long game work often enough to trust it. That trust is earned, not assumed, and it only arrives after you've stayed the course through the part where nothing seemed to be happening yet. When delayed gratification starts feeling like the obvious choice rather than the difficult one, when waiting becomes your default setting, that's a signal. The compounding has worked on your psychology, not just your portfolio. Signal 1, you've stopped waiting for permission to start. The most expensive habit in personal finance isn't overspending, it's waiting. Waiting until the income is higher, until the timing is better, until you understand it more completely, until circumstances cooperate in a way that makes the next step feel safe and obvious and inevitable. That moment never comes. Not because the conditions never improve, but because the part of you that's waiting will always find a new reason to keep waiting. The clearest signal that your financial life has fundamentally changed is this: you stopped waiting. You made a decision with imperfect information. You deployed capital before you felt completely ready. You built the habit before you felt motivated enough to sustain it. And then you didn't reverse the decision when it got uncomfortable. That commitment, unglamorous, quiet, and largely invisible to everyone around you, is the foundation every other signal on this list is built on. You don't become wealthy in a single dramatic moment. You become wealthy in 10,000 quiet ones. Decisions made without applause, habits held without recognition, and a direction you committed to before the results gave you any reason to. The signals are already in your life. The question is whether you're paying attention to the right ones. If this reframed how you see your own financial progress, share it with someone who needs a different lens right now. Comment below with the signal that hit closest to home. Subscribe if you want to keep seeing money through a lens most people never find. And if you found value here, the like button is how you tell the algorithm that more people need to hear this.